And welcome everybody. We are going into Comrade taking on Method. This of course is a knife round, not some sort of new meta strat, as they're all going to be in mid. Trying to get these trying to get their sides sorted. Coming into this, both teams are pretty even. It's going to be a best of 3 of course. And so it will be interesting to see a couple of these. You know, it's not just going to be a best of 1. We won't just see one map going down and maybe a lucky victory. It's always a chance to come back into it. And as we saw yesterday, teams are always able to come back. The score lines that seemed pretty convincing, we're always closing back up towards the end of it, and hopefully we're going to have some even more competitive games here today. With me, of course, is Dean, and we're going to be going through this, as usual at this point, and we're going to be going through the series together as Comrade opt to start over on the Axis side.
Yeah, that was kind of where Comrade looked a little bit stronger yesterday. As we said, I believe it was here on Liberation actually where they did get a comeback eventually on the Allied side, but I think that was more due to kind of the defense that was on the B-bomb site for, I can't even remember who they were playing at this point, just being so weak. I remember that was something that we pointed out a lot of times. Yeah. But yeah, here we go. We're into the action already. The first best of 3 of the day. Whoever wins this one, of course, is going to be taking that spot in the major. And the loser will have to come back and try again next week.
Yes, indeedy. So it is a pretty good prize on the line. The chance to compete for $50,000. As we go into the action, kills already coming in. As it looks like the B side is going to be under the Axis control momentarily. As the bomb slowly makes its way towards there. Now we have got a good flank coming in though. You see already Toxja's making his way up middle, but he might not even be necessary. A great offense coming in from Method. As they make their way onto the B bomb site, they find 4 players, and that's a pretty strong attack right there. What do you feel went wrong for the Axis on that B bomb site?
I'm not gonna lie, I looked away for 2 seconds, Mitch.
Well,
I was responding to the chat.
Instantaneously, that's a problem. That you looked away for 2 seconds and the B bomb site was gone.
Yeah,
It's certainly not the strongest of defenses there, but this is indicative of what we've seen a couple of times, Dean. I mean, the last couple of times we've spectated here on Liberation, we've seen the B defense being very weak. And oftentimes it is due to a bit more of a passive hold. We were talking about it yesterday, saying that pretty much when you go to B, there's 2 smokes you throw. Upper and the arch. Every single time. But it seems like again and again, the Axis side tends to try to defend from those more passive positions. Now in the opening rounds, you've got Gavers, so you don't want to take those closer range fights, I guess. But certainly the ability to isolate maybe just one player on side is a little bit too daunting. Too dangerous to allow to happen. But it's happening again and again.
yeah. I think it may be best to actually just play the full-on retake if you're gonna do that in that case. Yeah. Just try and leave the player in upper maybe to get a kill, because a lot of the time we see the player who's pushed up just getting taken down almost immediately.
For sure.
And into this round, we already see an opening kill being found, although Elves Eye is at least able to trade it back pretty quickly on the query. Woffer's in a good position, does indeed catch Toxj, who was a little bit unaware of that position. He was making his way up through mid, creeping out of market, and with that frag being found, Comrade Gaming actually do go ahead and get themselves the man advantage now. And first with this player in dark, this is kind of something I like a little bit more, although he can of course be pushed down, but at least that way he's not directly on the site and he doesn't get picked off immediately given that opening. And this round so far going pretty well for the Axis side.
Yeah, indeed, a much better hold on B there. The lack of smokes really comes into play there on the Allied side. Not able to cut off the players on the side, and as they're actually trying to split towards Tank. Rebirth making his way up there. He's going to be able to pick off Supreme. But still, there's 3 players alive, 2 of which are towards that B bomb site, with 1 over towards spawn. A is completely open for the taking. And if Sam shows himself, they'll be aware of this, but it's not going to matter, because as he shows himself, he finds a kill, taking Rebirth down and indeed claiming the bomb. A token, unfortunately, just out of his reach on top of the tank. As it is going to be 1-1, things tied up here. As the Allies still have a decent enough economy, they will be getting 2 smokes. And looking to grab a nade on Quirdy with some... Presumably this is going to be a closer range strategy. 2 nades in play, 2 smokes. We'll probably see the same 2 smokes we see on B every single time. Followed up with those nades coming in, and then close range fights, because of course we have got that Tommy gun in play. Although he's actually, it's going to be on Toxtra, who's making his way towards A. So we're going for a bit of a split now. They're going to try to attack that B site with their smokes down and nades, and then allow Toxtra to come up behind and find those flank kills. Now, I don't really favor that all too much, give the flanker the Tommy gun, because when you're taking that B side, you can find yourself in a lot of close range fights. If you can have that Tommy gun in hand, it just makes it so much easier to clear those closer range angles. This time though, it is going to be a long range fight as we see the boost coming in. Birdie loses a lot of HP. Indeed, does manage to just about survive, as the bomb should be able to go down now with the boosted up player going down. 2 kills in the favor of the Allied side, as they find themselves now in a 2-man advantage, actually on the back of Qwerty finding a second kill. And without any nades, the retake shouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they don't find a kill instantly, they should just back off and save these 2 Gurus. It's not the greatest of saves, of course, but a 2v4 retake, not very likely. As you said, without any nades to try and actually assist them either. Makes things even more difficult. Okay, Rebirth gets taken down. 1 kill at least to be found so far in this retake, but with 3 more to go, good positioning as well to just try and play the time off of the bomb. I don't think it should be very doable. As you can see, Elvzai, as he pushes into dark, he'll be taken down. And Supreme also over on long, getting finished off. So there we have it. The second round to be picked up by Method. They were throwing it instantly themselves. And now it's the CRG side that are really going to struggle to get a solid investment into this round. You can see Elvzai actually has 5 tokens, so he should be able to get something okay. The rest of the players sadly just stuck down to much weaker weaponry other than that MP40. And Elvzai actually decides to just go straight for the Goer. I think he may have actually donated over to Moffers.
No, I don't think this is going to look all too bad for Comrade, really. We saw it was up against LFT on the same map that they had a pretty good performance on the Allied side, claiming most of the rounds there, but they do need to field a relatively good Axis side here. Method are a much stronger team than LFT, and with the addition of Sus to that lineup, it can only get stronger. Dropping down Davey, I believe, who was one of their weaker fraggers overall, certainly at throughout Gallantry. We saw he was possibly the weak link of the team, so to put Sus in there is a pretty good substitution. I think with 3-1 developing, it's certainly looking good for Method. But like I said, Comrade just need to swing up a couple more rounds on the board. If they can finish 6 or 7, I think they'll be happy with that and be able to field a relatively good Allied side. And this is something we said yesterday as well, not last week, that indeed at Gallantry, Fi tends to favor that Allied side as well. That's where he puts up the big performances, because he has the freedom to kind of roam around and pick at the defense. Whereas now he's sort of confined to his starting spot a lot of the time. With Supreme falling as well, this is going to make things very difficult. Fi isolated towards the A site, but the majority of the push will come into B, where the nade's already gone down for Qwerty. Good utility usage coming in, but up close is going to be Sam. He's not going to be expected this close, surely, in Market, as Moffers attempts to hold down the bomb site, peeking out onto long, but he's all alone at this point. He has to back off. They're in a 2 versus 4 now as Fi gets taken down. Things are not going to look good at all for them. Again, this looks like another Allied round, and indeed a pretty swift one. Picking apart the B site, and the smoke's going down. Should allow the plant to come in. Sam actually picks one up on the flank there. That could have been good, but as he gets taken down, and of course we do see Toxtra coming in there on the flank with a Tommy gun. A strategy he very much likes to go for, as we saw in even the second round. He was taking that Tommy and making his way towards A for the flank. So that is 4-1. Allies looking pretty good. They're buying up again, of course. Fully invested into this round, with the exception of Qwerty. And this is something we saw actually a couple times yesterday. One player keeping over a lot of tokens. Which means that even if they do lose, he can donate a couple over, and at least 3-4 players can get a decent buy. And with the nades coming in to start things off, it's going to be trades to be found. As again, it looks like the Allies are going to be favoring that B side. And this does tend to be a map that B is hit almost every round. We said yesterday, Dean, that it was if you get 2 rounds and a half that see a full-on A push, then that's a treat. It's very, very rare. Look at this position from Moffers, though. He's sitting up above the bomb site. Not a very common position because it's so easy to counter, but if it's not checked, it's dangerous. He should be taken down as he's holding this position. He's going to have to take a fight, sadly. As he's spotted out, they jump up on top and take him out of commission. But still, that 1-for-1 trade is going to be good for them because they're running the time down. They found that the bomb's on the side, allowing the rotations to come in for his teammates. And so although 1-for-1 trade is generally not good for the defense, it does mean that he can allow his teammates to rotate in. Supreme spots out Kanaler, who's not going to be able... He's not going to be able to drop him, sadly. 10 HP as he survives. Car 98k deployed in Supreme. He knows Kanaler is going to be regened his health. As we can see, he's actually spelled his name phonetically, just to help us out, so we know how to pronounce it. I thought I was doing a pretty good job.
That was how I was pronouncing it anyway, to be honest. But yeah, he gets taken down.
Someone told me it was Kanaler.
That just sounds weird.
You don't really pronounce the R. I thought because it's a different language that could be accurate, but it appears that I've been punked.
Probably. I think you have been punked. But yeah, I was just calling with Kanaler anyway because I didn't know how to... It was either Kanaler or just Naler. It depends whether the K was silent. And someone told me it wasn't silent, so I just went with Kanaler.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not silent.
Yeah, obviously not. It would be spelling out like this for us. For you, Mitch, rather. Yeah, second round been picked up for CRG. 2-4. If they can bring this back to 6 or 7, if they can get themselves 6 or 7 rounds, I think they'll be okay. Ideally, they want more, of course, but as you pointed out previously, it was against LFT that they had a pretty spectacular allied side, so we know they're capable of it. But I do personally think Method are kind of a bit of a stronger team and will probably have a much stronger Axis side themselves. And I don't think we'll see them making quite the same mistakes that we've seen coming in from LFT, which was kind of how they were defending that B-bomb site. Right now, Sam able to find one with a grenade. Quick trade indeed being returned. Before eventually Elvzai takes one of his own, so it does end up in a man advantage right now for CRG. Sam having a little bit of a fight over towards Market, but we do see the player who was pushed up into this position just to the side, and it's best to back off. But actually, he finds himself a quick kill. 3-on-3, and Elvzai is trapped in towards Dark as the bomb has been planted. Fly finds one at least. So it is now a 3-on-2. Bomb is down. There's a chance for the remaining 2 players to try and just play the time. Sus though, he's trapped in towards the corner and won't be able to find anything. It's all on Sam, or rather all on ToxJ, and he's not going to be able to find it. Sam and Fire there to close it out in the end. So the third round to be picked up for CRG. Plenty of time, of course, for that defuse. Some tokens to be retrieved. 10 for Sam right now.
Yeah, look, right now, 4-3 is a very solid scoreline for Comrade. If they can keep this up and bring it to an 8-7 scoreline, they're going to be feeling very similar to how they did when they were up against LFT. Now, I think they do, of course, want to come out of this with an advantage. The Axis side, of course, is pretty much favored. Most maps indeed on Battalion are defensive sided, but Comrade tend to be an allied sided team. They always tend to knock those rounds out when they're over there. Now that's so far in this qualifier they've been putting up those performances. Maybe it's been because they're against weaker teams who might just have that weaker Axis side because you can target the weaker players, and the inability to take the 5v2s or 5v3s when they push aside, when those weaker teams are on the 2 or 3 side of that, they're not really able to capitalize on those, at best getting those 1-for-1 trades, which, as we know, favors the offense. But the offense aren't going to be favored in this round. 2 versus 5, as it looks like we're about to see the equalizer in rounds of 4-4.
We need something confirmed here, because some people in the chat are saying it's silent, some people are saying it's not silent. Davey said it's not silent, so we're gonna go ahead and believe Davey since he was his teammate. I feel like he's not trolling us. It seems like no one knows how to pronounce his name wrong, so I think you can. I have to pronounce his name right, rather. So I think you can get a pass on this one, Mitch.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kanaler actually told me that's how you pronounce it, but definitely with his teammates saying it, I think it's a pretty solid assumption.
Yeah, Davey said there's no silent K in Dutch. So we'll believe him, since he's from, I believe, Belgium. We could just ask Dark. Could have just said it in ours. Kanaler. Oh yeah, you
Dark
did
also
say it with a K,
agrees.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna believe the two people that speak Dutch.
Yeah, our native Dutch speakers.
Well, they're from Belgium. Like, let's be real. I'm only messing, guys. I have to do that.
Bit of
just
casual
to
racism.
annoy Dark. Oh, casual racism. You should hear what Dark just be saying in ours. Like, Jesus.
Well, we're casting, trying to throw us off.
He's shushing us now.
Let's say he doesn't like the Allied side. QWERTY
Jesus.
already dropped. It's a prank, bro.
Just call him an Axis, remember?
No.
Oh, Canaler. Nice Ned. With the K. Oh, Sam. He's always coming in from behind somehow. How does he manage this? Always. Yeah, there we go. Free kill on the Toxj. Or is it Toxj? Or Toxj? Need to help me here, Mitch.
Yeah, it talks to you.
Toxj. Okay, I'll go with Toxj.
Or at least if you say it, then at least we're both mispronouncing it.
Too many E's. That's my problem, but here we go. Rebirth pulls one back. I guess you could say bringing life back to the round for the Allied side as the bomb is slowly taken away. 30 seconds remaining and a difficult retake going to be in play for CRG. But Sam continues to find frags with his Thompson, rather. Does he clear up close on the right in Dark, though? That's the question. Gonna make his way back out towards the window. Instead, Rebirth, though, likely going to get shot in the back. And that's exactly what happens now, leaving it all onto Canaler. 1v3. Smokes are down, allows him to close in the distance, gets the first, but that's all he's allowed. And there's just about time for the defuse.
Yeah, well, just about will cut it. As they find their 5th round, finally Comrade going to be up there in the lead. And indeed, I think that they're going to be feeling very happy about this. You do want to be ahead, of course, on the Axis side, but I think that's going to favor Comrade even more as they switch over to the Allies, if they can finish this out with a slight lead. Indeed, I do expect we're going to see an 8-7 half favored one way or the other, but I doubt it's going to be all too much of a gap as the half ends. Good nade usage as well coming in from the Axis. Moffers has thrown a pretty solid one, but they're aware of it now. Method not going to be pushing. Of course, that nade lands outside in the broken house outside of B. Lands right in the broken wall of that. Bounces up and it catches anybody on the ramp close to it. With Fi picking up the opening kill. Of course, no nade kill. And I think that's probably a problem here for the Axis, that they're not delaying their nades at all. They're throwing them with the same timings every round, so it becomes kind of easy to counter from the Allies' perspective. But now with Toxj already dropped and QWERTY on 50 HP. Never mind, QWERTY's dead too. It's going to be difficult for them to pick up this round. They managed 1 kill, but it's not going to be enough. As in comes Sam on the flank with the SMG to finish off that round. A 3K for Fi yet again. As he's not actually going to be on top this time, though. It's all on Sam. 11 kills on the board already. As he's looking pretty solid so far. Fairly even performance across the Axis. They're going to be happy enough. Of course, it can be difficult doing that retake, and especially with a 6-4 scoreline. You expect that somebody's going to be slightly falling behind. But Supreme being the A player, he's always on the retakes. He either gets no action, or he's got to perform a retake, which is, of course, pretty difficult. That's kind of why he finds himself towards the bottom of the scoreline. But it looks like that B defense has been fixed, but once again we're going to see the Allies pressuring that B side, but this time not going to be fully aggressing towards it. They're spreading out for a fairly even coverage with the bomb still in spawn. Everybody dodged that, so Sus has to go back and get it. And Fi picks up a kill on the QWERTY. And Sus picks up that bomb. He will be bringing it towards B. This late on in the round, they have got the ability to cross to A, as mid's not really going to be watched, or at least 100% concentrated on. Surprised to not see a fake coming in yet either. As Fi picks up his 2nd kill for the round, that puts the Axis in the lead. The Allies not telegraphing their push. They're going to be creeping out onto B there. Rebirth making his way in. Unfortunately, doesn't hit the shots, and that gives away his position. Kind of forces his team to push towards, because he can't retreat at this point without being spotted. And as Sus falls, Rebirth on low HP. This round is not looking good for Method.
This is looking like it's going to be a 7th for CRG. as it's all onto Rebirth, trapped in the corner. They roughly know his position at least, and all he can do is try and save over this Thompson. Will he be allowed? Probably will. I don't think they're really going to hunt them down too much, but they will go looking for some tokens for themselves. So perhaps they may be able to find them off first. Does he clear up close? He will indeed. And is actually going to be able to find the frag. So Rebirth falls. A nice round coming in from CRG as they continue to build up the momentum here on this Axis side. And as we said, it was yesterday the Allied side where they actually shone on this map. So seeing them come out already with a very solid Axis side after being down what I believe was 4-1, now taking 6 in a row, is quite impressive. Especially with Fly not being the one top fragging. We kind of expect that of him, but at the moment it's Sam and just everyone's kind of stepping it up. As you said, Supreme, he's a little bit further behind, but he hasn't really been given too many opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, holding down that A side, pretty much the only contact he's had was from behind as Toxja holds out for the flanks when they do try to rotate over to B in those rounds that they've lost. Supreme has had to rotate over relatively quickly to help out his teammates on the push. And with Toxja just lurking around, those kills are easy to pick up, and unfortunately not a whole lot he can do. So you can't really pin that on him. Still going 4 for 6. Decent enough considering he's been caught out on those flanks quite a bit. The rest of the team, though, I mean, look at that performance. 3 players on 8 kills and 1 on 11. They're having a pretty good average performance across the team. 7 of 4 up, that level of consistency helping them. But Method aren't doing too bad either. Ultimately, it's just different players stepping up in different rounds. That's their primary problem right now. And they're consistently making their way towards that B bomb site. This is going to be a technical pause, actually, not a tactical, I would have imagined. Method would have been calling an attack right about now, but it's all tech. Certainly a decent opportunity, at least, for some of them to potentially talk about what the problems are. And I'd certainly like to see a fake come in. All they need, 2 players towards that B site, drop those smokes, play a little bit of contact, while everybody else is already... The important thing here is to cross early towards A. If they go for that late cross, Fi is spotting them out because he's sitting at tank every round and watching straight down there. And if he's not, you've got Elwazi checking down there. Or Elvzoy. Elvzoy. That's the first time I've said his name out loud. He's watching down there as well, peeking in from the arch. So if they do want to make their way towards A, they'll give away a lot of info if they try to go late round. And as indeed now we see one man down, they're kind of just floating around the spawn area. They're waiting for aggression to come in from the Axis, and hopefully it won't. But although we do see Sam getting a tiny bit aggro here, he's going to take a fight onto Qwerty and Kanaler all at the same time. As he backs off, Qwerty keeps on pushing. And that's an easy kill for Sam to pick up. And now with the 2-man advantage, it should be very difficult for the Allies to really get into this as they attempt to push towards the bomb site. It's going to be held down really solidly. All you need is one player spotting for info, and as if it wasn't bad enough already, the nade comes in from Moffers, taking down Kanaler, leaving it into a 2 versus 5. Now the info isn't even that important. They've spotted one player on the site. They know that it's going to be a push onto B. And as the smokes go down, the full rotations will come in. They're going to be pushed from every angle, so it's important to get the bomb down fast before the rotations come all the way in. But as we can see, players getting a little bit hesitant on the Axis side to push in. They want to wait for everybody. Oh, look at that nade coming in. Oh, I thought that was for barrels. It actually went towards the bomb site, despite the bomb having already been planted.
That's strange. Not common they'll stay on the actual site itself after planting.
Yeah. It's very exposed. I mean, it is impenetrable, but especially when you're in a 2v4, you can be pushed from any angle. Good shot by Sus, though.
Yeah, gets the first. Needs to have the assistance of Rebirth to try and pull this back.
Oh my god. It's all on Sam right now. He's been the player to really step it up now for the Axis, but he's in a 1v2 all of a sudden. Really well played by the Allies, Rebirth and Sus. Playing this in unison. No time left for the defuse to come in either, so Sam hopefully just going to go for the save as he's taken down. That will signal the end of the round as we go 7-5 and a fantastic round in that 2v4. I was saying it wasn't really possible anymore, and indeed it shouldn't have been, especially when you're being pushed from 3 different angles and you've only got 2 players to cover them. But using the barrels perfectly to isolate angles and take just 1-for-1 peaks, we're able to pick off the Allied side. And indeed, the smoke certainly helped out as well towards the bottom of the stairs. 5-7. Either way, we're certainly gearing up towards a close half. But it's still the possibility for Comrade to take this 10-5. 3 more rounds are all they need, and getting picks that early on, I mean, it's not going to be a consistently repeatable thing to win those 2v4s out, so we need to see the Allies maintaining at least evens as they move forward, but had a man disadvantage early on. It ain't looking likely.
Oh, Sus getting very aggressive right there. Gets taken down. No chance for the trade instantly, but Moffers not going to be allowed to go ahead and get the HP back into a decent position. He will be quickly finished off before Elvzai, with a nade of his own, will claim the life of one. So it ends up in a 4v2, heavily favoring CRG. Rebirth, he needed to find that frag, sadly with the Thompson at long range. Wasn't really ideal. And Sam, as always, he's waiting and coming in from behind, taking down Quirky, leaving it all onto Rebirth now. 1v4, 40 seconds, and doesn't currently have that bomb in his possession. I'm not fancying his chances right now. I think this should be an 8th round for CRG. But Method, they're slowly grinding out rounds here on this Allied side. If they can take 6 or 7, I think they'll be quite happy. As we said, though, we know CRG are very capable themselves on the Allied side, but I think the way I put it also is that I don't think LFT are quite as strong of a team as Method are. So I think on the Axis side, Method are definitely going to have a lot more coordination and won't be as easy to exploit. So I think this could be still a very close game either way.
Oh, will Rebirth be able to save over this weapon? And certainly will be difficult. And as he spammed in through the window, it just forces him to push out of the position he was holding. So not able to carry that forward already. Comrade claiming themselves the win on the half. And indeed, if they can claim this 9-6, I think that's going to be the closest, but the best representation probably of how an even half should look here. 9-6. That gives Method a good opportunity to come into it on the Axis side. But equally, Comrade then don't have that much of an obstacle to overcome to get to that win. The only problem is now it's going to be a full B rush. Oh, good spray down from Elvzai, sorry. Picking up 3. The knife comes in as well, and that's a 4K altogether. I feel like I ruined that clip by mispronouncing his name. God damn it. I swear when I read it, the Z is before the Y, not before the O. Wazzy. That's a nice name. Someone do it. Change their name. Maybe that'll be my new name.
If you want. Wazzy casting. Wazzy man. You have to keep man.
Yeah, you gotta keep the man on it. Wazzy man.
It's a good one. 9-5. If CRG take double digits here, they'll be really happy. And 5, of course, going to go ahead and claim the head of Sus to start it off. So already they get them on advantage. Going to be a tough round for Method to try and pull back now.
Again, gearing up towards this B site, as it doesn't look like a single A hit is going to come in throughout the entirety of the Method Allied side. I really like B. With 5 rounds on the board, they need to pick up this 6th. Sam already coming in with a good nade onto Kanaler. And with Moffers claiming one as well. And we see the setup. This is one difference to what we saw in a couple of iterations of Lib. Different setups every round. It's so difficult for Method to actually counter this defense because they don't know what's actually going to happen. As you can see in the previous round, we had aggression already coming over towards the barrels. And then almost instantaneously, the next round, literally, it's completely changed over as those final kills come in, 10-5. That passive hold worked out for them, going towards upper. But the thing is, that the big difference between that passive hold and the initial round, when we started off here, for Comrade, they held out passively with Gavers and no utility. And that can make a huge difference. Having those couple of nades to deny the bomb plant, it's certainly a common enough thing that if you've got 5 nades in play, you're going to keep 1 or 2, usually 2, 1 on each side, in order to stop those bomb plants from actually coming down, especially if you've got a passive hold on B. That's why I feel it doesn't really work in the initial rounds to have the more passive play, because well, especially if you go to the side anyways, you've got a Gavari, you've got to hold slightly longer angles, but at the same time, on B, it's not so easy to do that. I think retake is a good way to play it, but again, without the nades, it's very difficult, because in order to deny that bomb plant, if a smoke goes down, it's next to impossible to spam through it, especially because you can't spam through the box. Especially to add to that, if they claim a kill towards upper, they can just plant for upper so that they're blocked out from the connector. Then there's literally no way for you to deny the plant. Plant's gone down. They've got a 1-man advantage. What are you going to do? Makes life very difficult for you. And the pause came in there, as it looks like they're sorted. Don't know if that was a tech or just a halftime pause to make sure everybody was ready.
A pee break. Wouldn't be
Exactly.
I need one of those myself. I should have ran.
You had time. Oh, no more time. You gotta hold it for another at least 6 rounds, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a fair bit longer than that.
Probably. I think this is going to still be a very close game. And unless Fi just decides it's time to go God mode, then I think they could run away with this on the Allied side. But I think it'll be close. Sus finding some contact. He's gotten very aggressive. Hence the assistance of ToxJ, luckily enough, who's going to go ahead and claim the life of 2. So starting off well for Method already. Rebirth as well. Elvzai eventually chimes back in with 1, but it's still, of course, a 2v4 for CRG to try and recover from, which they're slowly but surely beginning to do.
Yeah, that right there is why you don't take B without smokes. Jumping into the site, you've got to worry about upper, lower, and just
Just God.
Oh, indeed, not a bad performance with the popcorn. Now Grease and Gaver actually. Sorry, that was the Gaver, not the Poppy. But if you look at towards the if you don't have smokes going into that site, just think about the amount of angles once you push out. You've got to worry about barrels, dark, the arch towards upper. You've also got to worry about below upper there where the door is that they can be hiding behind. And the top of barn on occasion. It's very rare, especially in the opening rounds, that someone will play there. But ooh, QWERTY pulling off a little bit of a Fi onto Fi with a nice headshot straight down middle. As Sus grabs one with the nade as well. And like you said, Dean, Method are going to be a stronger team than LFT, and we expect their Axis side to be a little bit better, taking away that sort of offense-sided play from Comrade that we've seen throughout the tournament so far. As Moffers claims 1, it's still going to be possible for them to take this site. They have got 2 smokes in play right now, which they will be deploying towards the site. 1 towards upper, which actually I don't think hit. No, it did. It did actually. Never mind. As the kill comes in from QWERTY, it's traded back by Supreme, but they need more than trades right now as they're at the man disadvantage. Pistol deployed. Waiting for the peak to come in from Rebirth, but as Moffers jumps in there to show, no, that's embarrassing. Rebirth with a shot, he gets taken down. Close range, nice shot by Supreme. It's all on Toxter right now. You said he's a god, Dean, but can he pick up this 2K? Low HP on both players. Moffers is challenging on 10 HP. He gets taken down with the grease gun, and it's a 1 versus 1. The bomb in the possession of Supreme. He makes his way down middle, and look at this. He's going to fake going to A. Toxter going to suspect that rotation to have come in. You can see he's already rotating over to that bomb site. But look at Supreme sneaking back over to the B site to get that plant down.
Yeah, he's going to hear it, though. Need a good position, at least.
Bomb planted.
Tough retake, though. Not going to be easy by any means. Sticking onto the grease gun. Or as Dark likes to call it, the nail gun. Due to its aesthetics and its sound as well. ToxJ tops the bottom, trying to bait out the peak, and as we can see, Supreme not going to be falling for this one at all. The timing not quite going to work in his favor. Walks into the open where he will be taken down. And Supreme, that was an impressive 1v1 the way he played it. It was well played. And now it's 11-6 in favor of CRG. They pick up their first round over on this Allied side.
Yeah, a good round 1 out there at the man disadvantage. They managed to trade in and then step it up when they need to. Moffers having an important kill towards Dark, clearing out that whole angle with the movement. And zigzagging in there, it's difficult to hit with the shotgun on a regular basis, but when somebody's zigzagging at you, it can certainly make life a little bit harder. With no nades in play for the Axis, and no nade kills coming in from the Allies, it's all going to be down to the Angels. 2 smokes remain, rather start out. None have been thrown for Comrade as they make their way towards the B bomb site. As they look to deploy those in the regular spots, I assume. Sus is going to be taking down Fi towards mid. Fi's not having a great time in this game. Certainly not the standard performance we see coming out from him. What we've grown to expect from him. As he's dropped towards middle, it is going to be a man disadvantage. The battle coming in as well as Sam tries to trade out his teammate and indeed just pick up his coin at the same time. Moffers rotates in actually towards spawn to try and help out so they can take a fight and possibly isolate one player who's getting too aggressive. But Sus is just going to be backing off on A. We can see Supreme waiting on that B side for somebody to peek him with the STG, but he's now being spotted out. They should suspect the push towards B. And indeed, look at the stack from the Axis already. There's 4 players towards it, but Rebirth comes in with a double, so that might not even be necessary. They only need 1 defender, apparently.
Yeah, that was all that was needed. Good work by Rebirth to make Smoffers and Sam shy away. And of course, at this point, the only option is to go ahead and carry over those 2 weapons. So a save is what they're looking to try and find, but they are indeed being hunted down. You can see Method want to take these kills. They do have to be cautious themselves. They don't have a good economy by any means, so you can see they're not really going to hunt it down too far anymore. Only the 1 player being Sus, I think, who was pushed up quite aggressively, but I don't think they're going to be able to really find anything. It was close, but in the end, yeah, both weapons going to at least be carried over for CRG, but a 7th round for Method, as they're slowly beginning to pull this back into a much closer scoreline. As we said, of course, 5 rounds on the Allied side, it wasn't terrible. And it is a position you can easily come back from. You said you thought we were still going to see a very close game, as did I. And it looks like that might be the case indeed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 10-5 certainly favours Comrade coming into it, but only by a small enough margin. I think 9-6 would have been an even half for both teams, so I'm going to be happy coming in with 10, but only on 11 rounds now as that gap starts to close in. Nades not having a whole lot of impact here for Method, and they're going to be thankful for that on the Comrade side. But again, it looks like the mid pick is going to be possible. Qwerty going out for the peak. Oh, he's going to be dropped down really low HP. Sam trying to finish him off, but not quite able to connect the shot, sadly. As Rebirth again to be opening things up. The MP40 in hand manages to do a lot of damage there onto Moffers and takes Supreme out of commission as well. He's trapped now, though. Elvazi going to be dropping a nade, forcing him out of the open. He actually goes in towards their spawn. Moffer's going to expect it, though. What a shot, flying through the air, soaring like an eagle, finds a shot as Fi eliminates Qwerty towards middle as well. It's down to a 4v3, the advantage with the allies as they begin to push towards that B bomb site. Sam finds one, and Kanala is going to be holding that down alone as he gets traded out. It leaves us in a position where Comrade pretty much have to win that round. There's no way, really, that Method could have come into that in a 1v3. Smoked out as well, and he was pushing in to try and help out his teammate. Not a great position to be stuck in, jumping through a smoke with 3 people looking at you.
Not at all. Another technical pause, rather. Not a tactical pause. We've surprisingly yet to see any of those. Yeah, apparently Moffers is lagging, so hopefully that won't be the case for too long. Seems like his ping is okay anyway. Maybe it was a couple of FPS issues. 12-7 CRG. Increased the lead just a little bit further. And now, as we can see, Method, they're not going to have the greatest of buys coming into this round. Mostly the Goovers. Goovers. That's how you pronounce it, right? I'm giving it a go, Mitch. I'm trying.
It's Gewehr,
Goover. Okay,
I think.
Well, if it's plural, I think you add an S, you know?
Oh, Gewehrs, yeah, of course, yeah.
Unless it's like sheep or something. Or deer. Good, all the deer over there.
No, I think there is an S at the end of it. I'm pretty sure we pluralize it. But well, that's in English anyways. I'm not sure if the plural of Gewehr in German, if the prefix changes.
Oh, it's probably a completely different word with 12 extra letters.
Well, I imagine it's something like, this is going to be horrendous, but something like der Gewehrs and die Gewehrs or something like that. Like the prefix changes, pluralizes it for you. It happens in a couple different languages. Like
in French
in Irish,
as
for
well.
example. In Irish, you wouldn't say, you know, and it depends on the word actually, yeah, because Skaloga is chips, but then Skalogi is the plural. But some of them you say kupla, whatever, and it's just a normal, yeah. I don't know, Dean. Languages are confusing.
Yep.
Well, 12-7, 5 rounds left. Like, there's 5 rounds in between them, that is. Has a decent chance for either team to come into this, but again, Comrade are looking stronger. I think with the 1 round lead, they're certainly like that was a bit vague, the 1 round lead. Coming into it, of course, saying that it was 9-6. That was kind of an even enough half, in my opinion, on Lib for these two teams. That the fact that they got that extra round and brought it to 10-5 just puts them in the lead by a pretty good margin. It gives them a good buffer that they can try a couple of allied rounds that go amiss, and it's fine because they've still got that advantage under their belt. Right now, though, their economy isn't looking too bad.
Oh, Moffers is on 300 ping now. 400.
Here we go again.
Who was it yesterday that had that issue? It was just shooting up from 40 to like 600 in less than a second.
Oh, I can't remember. It was over on Manor House, remember?
Yeah, I think so. Where's Moffers from? Is he Swedish?
I think so, yeah. Pretty sure he's Swedish.
Isn't Swedish internet meant to be good?
Swedish everything's meant to be good. Let's be real.
I heard they have great kebabs.
I think it was Blade Star yesterday. Knew it was something with star in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it may have been actually.
Flashy, how do you pronounce the E on the end? Gever.
Do you just say open bracket, close
Gever?
bracket?
Gever? Gever?
You say open bracket and close bracket, Mitch.
Gewehr, open bracket E, close bracket.
You have to find out how to pronounce an E in German. I don't know if it's the same or not.
Oh, probably not as well. God damn you Europeans, to make our life so hard. Just over here on our island. trying to-
European too.
Yeah, but they're more European than us. We're isolated on an island.
I suppose.
Apparently, most of the islands aren't European anymore either. Hashtag England. I mean, if you're not in the EU, are
You know how
That's the question.
you're still European.
No,
I
they're
don't think you
gonna.
know how geography works, Mitch.
No, I'm pretty sure they're gonna move them. Like they have to relocate now.
Yeah, oh,
Get some
yeah.
boats and just all
Off
those
the coast of America, their new
Exactly.
ally.
all those goddamn
fucking the
Spanish
second
trawler
state.
ships are gonna come along and drag them away. Like they dragged
Yeah.
all the fish out of our oceans. Goddamn fishing quotas.
You sound mad, Mitch.
Well, we're going back into it. Finally, that whatever issue was going down is no longer going down. But the B take isn't going down either. As we see Sam going to be making his way up mid, there is a lot of presence on A. This is very spread out from the allies. And Sam, look at him. He's inside that bomb site already. Coming up behind them, finds one quick headshot on the canal. They're going to be able to take a fight as well on the rebirth, and that flank is beautiful. And a bit of a misplay from Method, not watching middle at all. Toxja has to have a big performance here with the MP40. Moffers with the bomb is spotted out over towards the spawn, but he's not landing the shot, sadly. Pistol deployed. But full HP on Moffers. It's not going to be easy to take him down with that Luger. Indeed, he will not manage it in a 1 versus 4. Dropping that bomb could have been massive. And apparently he's stuck in an invisible wall. Or that brick, perhaps, is what stopped him. But yeah, 1v4. This round, almost definitely going towards the allies. But we did see a clutch come out before. That was a 2 versus 4. And as Supreme's coming up behind, gives away his position though. It's possible. Jumping out though, Toxtra not going to land that kill. And so, 13-7. Je suis un pomme de terre. I love it. I love it, Dean. I am a potato.
I am indeed.
3 rounds left to go. You think Comrade got this first map?
It's looking pretty likely. This is their map choice as well, if I remember correctly, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
What's the next map, actually?
I've been informed by Excitable that it is Liberation, Derailed, and Manor. If it is not Liberation, Derailed, and Manor, you know who to send that hate mail to.
Okay. Well, I think Derailed
Dark
could be
on the 40.
interesting. I think Method may actually take Derailed, and I think we could be seeing a 3-mapper here. I think Manor House is where CRG will really shine, though.
Yeah, for sure. They're a very strong side there, especially on the offense. And so far, I mean, their offense is shining through as well. They're claiming quite a few rounds here. Managing to keep things even, but that's still Still going to favor them, 13-7, a 6-round gap. But as the initial kill comes in for the Axis, it becomes so much more difficult to push towards a bomb site when you're one man down. You're going to need everybody towards that B site, and a relatively passive hold as well. Canala and Rebirth going to be the only players there, while the others just watching mid now, scared of the flank coming in from Sam. But it's towards the site that they need to be worried about, as Elvozzi's going to be taken down. Rebirth claims one, going in for more with the MP40. Not able to find anything through the smoke, though, but as they push through, they find a Tommy gun. Not a friendly one. As Canala finds himself with 2k, so too does Rebirth, bringing it 13-8. And now, like I said, we're still in the same position we were at as the last half closed. A 5-round gap sitting between Comrade and Method, but Comrade are at the helm of that and only 3 rounds away from victory. It puts a lot of pressure on Method, but then again, we saw Comrade having a slow start into their defense, and then it started to pick up. So maybe we'll see a similar performance from Method as they try to figure out how to hold this. Nades come in, Sus managing to do a good bit of damage, taking down Fi. Now down to the 4 versus 5 with Moffers on low HP. Things are really looking up now for Method. Oh no! Toxia was trying for the flank, but it didn't work out.
That was not needed. Not in a 5-on-3.
It really wasn't.
And with that nade coming in, yeah, this is looking awkward. We had the exact same ideas there, Mitch. 3v3, and if CRG somehow win this round, then that's going to be a real tilt there for Method. He'll be very upset.
Yeah, well, they certainly won't be happy if they do end up getting caught up on. If they can pick this round up, though, of course. Sorry, a Comrade will be really upset if they get caught up on. Yeah, that's the thing about Method now. If their lost bonuses reset here, that should pretty much end it. Because they're not going to be able to get a decent buy-in. If 2 tokens sitting on Rebirth, losing this round will only give them 1. And that puts them in a position where they can only really afford 1 buy, maybe 2 players if they donate over tokens. Coming towards that bomb site. Sam is last alive. He's 1v2, but they know where Sus is. That's an easy kill for him to pick up. Goes for the bomb, but watch this. Rebirth coming in. Spots out Sam as the bomb plant is going down. He's trying to close in that distance. Smoke over towards the spawn. This is good. Sam going to be looking the wrong way, and a great distraction from Rebirth, and that wins him out the round. Able to carry over the victory. And that's important to be able to carry these weapons forward. Indeed, he won't have to go for a buy. With the exception, perhaps, of a nade, but at least he can donate over to his teammates, and we can have STGs all around. That's exactly what we see happening. Well, the donation part. Only 1 STG, though, to come out. Of course, 1 on Rebirth already. The ally is able to get a full buy as well. Nades coming into play massively for them. They've got 3 in their hands with a couple smokes as well. 1 going early towards mid to deny the information on whether they are splitting towards A or not. While the rest, the other 2, of course, probably going to be saved for the usual positions on B. Moffers throws a good nade. We've seen him capitalize a couple of kills with this before, and indeed there it is again, taking down Canaler. But the trades come in just as quickly. Cordy and Toxture, we're down to a 3v2. The allies are in favor as they make their way towards that bomb site, but a big position being held by Rebirth. If they can take him out of this, and indeed they do still have a nade, we can see Supreme with a grenade in hand. He can clear out Dark should they decide to go towards B, but it does look like the rotation's going to come in. Toxture's watching that with the STG, but he's actually just behind a smoke. He can't really see out of that. But he will catch the rotation coming in from Elvozzi and Moffers. As he sees them, he's going to make his way quickly towards A. But Rebirth sitting on B, he'll have no backup at all. Spots them out though, so now the rotation should come in, as indeed it does from Rebirth. We can see a lurk coming in here. Or Elvzoi, not Elvozzi. God damn it, that Z is definitely beside the Y in my head. But it's all Rebirth, 1 versus 3 as that kill comes in for Elvzoi. I'm so sorry, man. I told him before the game I was going to mispronounce his name the whole game, so it's okay. He knows.
I think he'll get over it. It won't be too big of a deal, but yeah, all on Rebirth now. Looking like a 14th round will indeed be picked up for CRG. A free frag at least. Rebirth going to get the first, but not a lot of time, so he's not even going to bother going for this one, as you would expect. With a Thompson and an STG to carry over, definitely worthwhile, and considering he has 3 tokens, 3 of his teammates have 0, it'll be nice if he can go ahead and spread the love, give out a few tokens to his teammates so they can afford a decent buy into this next round. Otherwise, it will be a bit of a struggle. But yeah, 14 for CRG now. 2 away from taking the victory, 1 away from at least confirming overtime. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see it in overtime, to be honest. I think it's a possibility, especially if Method can take this round. If they don't, then I think it's looking difficult for them. But if we see them take this one, get their economy going again, where they actually have the weapons to work with, I think this could be a very close game, and I think it could be one of those like we've seen at LAN, the 3, 4, maybe 11 overtimes.
Yeah, we could certainly see some OTs coming out, but I don't think it's going to be the case here on Lib. A strong offense from Comrade. Method are able to find some kills, but it's generally later on into the rounds as things develop. Nade kill comes in. That's Sam out of the running for this round. As the 4 versus 5 develops, the Allies at the disadvantage. We've seen them come back into this, especially towards the B side. Still 2 smokes in play as well. As they come in with one nice nade there from Supreme, that eliminates Rebirth. Able this round to deploy the nade we were talking about previously. Moffer's making his way up close, doesn't land that shot, but it is traded out by Elvzoy. Got it. And with the Allies in a 2 versus 3, it's going to be hard to plant that bomb. You've got 3 angles to worry about on a base level, upper, arch, and behind. But only 1 player to cover it as the bomb plant goes in. It's a little bit too much to ask, especially as time goes down, because the flank, of course, will be more likely to come in from Toxja as that clock continues to tick. We can already see him at the tank, but he won't be coming in. That plant should be safe. Fi takes the risk and it pays off.
Now it's all onto Supreme. 1v3, his position's known. Plenty of time on the bomb. It's going to be very difficult to try and actually play off of. He's basically just going to have to find these frags, and it's not going to happen. 10th round to be picked up for Method. Double digits, 4 now on the difference. And as we can see, it's going to be CRG that don't have the greatest of economies. They got the bomb planted at least, so we should see an okay investment coming out, but it's not going to be perfect. They won't have they won't have any scoped rifles, which we haven't really actually seen in this game, surprisingly. We know Fly likes to take that one out, and that is definitely a weapon he can have a lot of impact with, especially on the Allied side, which I suppose so far he just hasn't really been given the chance to pick it up.
I mean, the funny thing is, we're kind of thinking, hey, Fly's having a pretty bad performance here, you know, compared to usual. He's 15 for 15. He's doing his job, carrying his weight.
The problem is when we see him with such a kind of skill ceiling, and we see it shining through so often, those few games that it doesn't, we are kind of like, what? Where's he gone? His team need him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this case, we can clearly see that Comrade getting on well without him massively performing. It's only, I mean, their worst performance is 11 for 13. That's pretty good, and everybody else evens or above. So I think they're going to be breaking that kind of stereotype of a lot of teams have that one player that massively frags. Once he kind of has a bad day, an off day, or just even an even day, that's everything, you know. That's it. They're done in the game, because they can't put any good performances up on the rest of the players. Nobody else can step up to the plate. Here we've got Sam stepping up to the plate. Not in this round, though. Fi going to be able to find 1 kill. But that's all the kills they've found so far. Fi coming in for a second. He's going to have to go for the ace. We said he wasn't having a great performance so far. Let's see if he wants to prove us wrong. No. Finding just 2 kills. He will be taken down 14 to 11 as Method are going to start to close in that gap, or rather continue to do so. But still a 3-round gap between Method and Comrade, with 2 rounds left to go for Comrade before they can win, even if they can start to trade rounds out. It's easy peasy. Should be, anyways, to close out.
Strange investment. We see some players fully investing. We see Fi keeping 4, Supreme keeping 2 tokens. I guess they want to give themselves something to work with into this round, of course, and still have an opportunity to get a solid buy into the next. But we'll see Moffers and Elfzai likely having just carbines again, perhaps.
You know what I find is a problem with this game? The ability, from a commentary perspective, the ability to give tokens over makes it very difficult to predict what they're going to buy in later rounds. Like in CS, if you see somebody, everybody else is buying and he's sitting on 1800 ecoing, he's getting an AWP. You know that.
Yeah.
But you could see the whole team saving up 1 token each and then
No,
donating
I
over.
honestly feel like Fi is just saving for the sniper. As I said, it's something that he's lacked.
Yeah, for sure it is. And generally does play well even without it, but maybe he feels like that will be a big turning point. That said, though, they've been doing pretty well so far. Obviously not into this round, but they have been doing relatively well, so changing it up could be dangerous, but I suppose...
I think they need that change now. It's 14-12, Mitch. It's, this is...
Yeah, closing in on
If I was them, I'd be beginning to sweat now, but I always sweat, so it doesn't matter. But they should really be worrying. This is where it kind of gets a little bit awkward. If they lose this round, suddenly their economy once again is quite weak. Then we see likely a 14th round to be found for Method, unless we see kind of just the carbines, etc., pulling off a victory for CRG. And it's not the greatest of buys into this round. We do, of course, see plenty of utility, though. That's the main thing. Firepower-wise, they sacrifice a bit. But Fi does have the M1 Garand to work with, and this would be the ideal time now for him to step it up and kind of just take over the rounds on his own, as we know he can. But it's Supreme to actually open it up.
An opening kill could be pivotal, but Comrade need to be careful not to get a little bit too caught up in the cautionary play. As they make their way in, they're going to lose one player, Sam, who was trying to make his way through mid. As he gets taken down, we're back down to a 4 versus 4. Still going to be Comrade in favor. They're gearing up outside of A. Smokes go in, one towards upper. As the Axis return a smoke of their own, they also return a kill before that player is dropped, as we're down to a 3 versus 3. Quirdy looking for frags there with the MP40, not able to land them, but now they know that he's towards dark. He's got to be careful about being pushed in on, but as the bomb goes down, it's unlikely that they will push. They'll allow Quirdy to push out of that tiny little choke point. All they need to do is watch it, and they can actually cover 2 angles at once. If Fi is watching over towards dark, he can also see them as they come out connector. And so that's going to help them quite a bit. But they've got to be careful of Sus. He's already taken down Fi, which allows the rest of the players to push out now, isolate those fights. As Toxture finds one, it's all on the Moffers. 3k to find. This is going to have to be a huge performance. Low HP, though, on Quirdy, but he, too, is low HP as he gets dropped. That will see us into 14-13. That scoreline. We said this was going to be a close game, Dean, and by God, Method aren't letting us down.
No, they're not. They're pulling this straight back on the Axis side, and as I said, losing that round, they put CRG in a bit of an awkward spot, but surprisingly, with the bomb plant at least gone down, with some tokens being retrieved, they actually have a great buy. They have the sniper even coming out for 5 finally. Monfers goes to the carbine so he can get the smoke and also a grenade, rather. And everyone else is just going to go for Thompson. So we may see a bit of a faster approach, considering they have 3 Thompsons into this round. But let's see what way they actually decide to go for it. Right now, anyway, just kind of splitting up and going for what they've been kind of sticking with throughout the entire half so far. I guess not looking to make too many adjustments in terms of the approach. Different set of weaponry this time around, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of Tommy guns coming out on the Comrade side right now. They're definitely looking for those close-range fights. And, well, Fi isn't finding one anyways. He doesn't grab anything with that sniper as he's taken down. Supreme picks it up, but Toxture picks it up on the Axis side by taking down Moffers with a nade. That puts us into a 14-13 scoreline. Of course, we're sitting here about to be equalized by the looks of it, as Method claim a 1-man advantage. They haven't got a whole lot of information, but look at the time. We've 50 seconds on the clock. They've got to cross back to spawn to grab that bomb. Elfzai is going to be all alone on A. As players cross over mid. Supreme is good for any range of combat, but a good position. Indeed, a risky position from Rebirth, but it could pay off. As we see, nobody actually making their way towards... Never mind. Supreme making his way towards long. Not going to check that close right angle. He's going to be dropped now. They've got to worry about behind. It's too much with 18 seconds left. They won't be able to claim this bomb site and get the plant down. Too many angles to cover. They just need to go for the save at this point. They've already lost a sniper, but they're going to lose everything else as well by the looks of it. As Elvzoy is going to be taking down Toxja. It's a trade because Sam was already dropped. And 1 versus 3, no time. He's just saving over this Tommy gun into the next round. 2 rounds. That's all that we can afford to play out in regulation anyways. There's, of course, the possibility of overtime. It all comes down to these next 2 rounds. It could be either team really walking away with this map, but so far Method on the Axis side are really coming back into it. Despite being down 10-5 after the first half, Comrade aren't able to foot as great of an allied performance as we usually see from them, and throughout the last couple of rounds you can really feel it getting to them. As the pushes become less and less structured, they're losing players early on. They have 2 towards mid. They're not going for the fast smoke executes. Waiting too long. A nade on Moffers, but he's not going to be deploying it just yet. Eventually one actually comes in, but it's not going to do any damage. It's Toxja to find one, Rebirth with another, and this is just feeling so disjointed right now. Moffers, last alive, has still got a grenade in his hands. As he pushes in, he's taken down. It's actually going to be a nade picked up, presumably. Oh no, he jumped over the nade. Poor Rebirth. Could have had a free grenade for the next round. But of course he didn't know that.
Unlucky. Right over it.
Yeah, you know, the problem with that, Dean, is when they started pushing into the site, well, rather they didn't start pushing into the site, that's really the problem. One player went in through the house. Everybody else was quite passive. 2 outside of B, playing passively. And middle had 2 players just kind of sitting there looking for pushes. So they're playing passive on 4 angles with 1 going aggressive on the allied side, despite the fact that a lot of their success has been fast hits towards that side, dropping smokes, going there as a team, occasionally leaving 1 player towards the middle area to get that flank in. But right now, I think Comrade need to worry less about the flanks, less about cutting off rotations, and more about finding that site control and finding the opening picks. They're playing the late round game, despite the fact that they're not able to get to that late round stage, the after plant sort of scenario where the A players are rotating over and you can cut them off. And they're not getting there, but they're still trying to set up for it every single round.
Yeah, and this is a crucial map for CRG to win. Going into Derailed, I think I'll be quite heavily favouring Method to pick that one up. So if they take the victory here on Liberation, they'll be in a prime position to go ahead and close this one out 2-0. So it's going to be a very important round here now for CRG once they get back into this. Moffers, he was just lagging again. Was spiked up to around 300 ping. I think that's gone down now, so we should be getting back into the game soon enough. But for CRG, they're going to want to discuss what they want to try and actually do into this round now, because it all relies on this one. Otherwise, they're heading onto the rail with a map disadvantage.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's actually Method that are delaying the pause.
Oh, well, Moffers is on 600 ping now, so I don't think that matters.
Oh, he's flown back up, has he?
Yeah, it went back down again. It's very unstable.
QWERTY is away, apparently, for something. Apparently going to the toilet. Gotta relieve his stress right now.
Yeah.
But he can have any distractions.
While you were casting a minute ago.
I know, I noticed. Left me all alone.
I typed in the Discord and asked Dark to tell you.
Yeah, no, I saw. Don't worry. I knew. I kind of wanted to just give you a gap, though, just for fun. And what do you think about that, Dean? And then leave it.
That'd just be awkward for you. You know I wouldn't care.
True, yeah. Well, maybe for Dark as well. I feel like Dark would be quite embarrassed if that happened.
Yeah, it's all on the producer. Producer's fault. Why wouldn't you be embarrassed? You're the one running the stream, Dark. It's everything that happens on the stream is your fault. If Mitch says a really bad word, it's your fault.
All right, as long as we have that agreed. No, but like right now, I feel what Comrade need to do: hit a site fast, get towards it. You've got the smokes, you've got the nades. Throw those nades over early towards B, then get the smokes in. Rush out on that site. You've got 2 Tommies, carbines. You don't want to play the late game up against STGs. They're going to win those range battles as soon as they can isolate them, and they have been isolating them. Rebirth has been occupying close on B consistently. Nades come over, luckily don't do any damage to the allies. They are making their way in through fast. Perhaps they're listening to the stream. Indeed, I hope so, as Comrades start to make their way towards that bomb site. Rebirth is going to be in a good position over towards Dark, sitting behind the smoke. QWERTY drops in an aid towards that bomb site. Kanaler manages to find one, but the 2 trades come in very quickly as Rebirth aggresses through that smoke. He's taken down. What a shot by Sam as the bomb plant will come in. They're watching for the nades coming over. Sus deploys one. It's spotted, but it's not going to do any damage. Sam knows that's okay. He can let that nade float away as Sus claims one onto Moffers with a very weird MP40 in his hand. They're going to be making their way towards that bomb site. 2 versus 2. The retake coming in. This is for the map to claim it 1-0 and go on to the next map of Derailed. 1-0 up. Method need to win this out and get that bomb defuse in. Behind the smoke, the allies are lurking in the grass like a snake. We can see them crawling through. Toxja jumping over the barrels, trying to get an angle on them. That defuse is coming in, but the push comes through. 5 finds 1. The spray from the MP40 isn't going to land onto the second player of Sam, as it's 15-15. We are going to see an overtime on map number 1 already. The close games are coming out.
I
Thank
called the
God
overtime.
Comrade went fast.
I called that at like 14-9.
Well, you know, this could have been easily avoided. All Comrade needed to do was realize that those slow plays were what was screwing them over. They have success on the fast plays when they can get into that side, overwhelm the defense. Rebirth had so much impact on that B side almost every round. He's sitting on 24 kills right now. Toxja as well. His flanks have been on point. And when you let that round time go down like that, you're just giving freedom to the likes of Rebirth to get aggressive in B. And as he's doing so, Toxja's coming around on the flanks. You're spread out. You're waiting for that in mid, but your whole team's getting killed on B, so it doesn't matter if the flanks aren't able to come in, because it's right in front of you need to worry about. Coming into this, Comrade again. They're going to be on the Axis side, so let's see them pick up a couple rounds. They're going to want to take this at least 2-1. Give themselves a good chance of allies working out for them.
Yeah, going for what seems to be a fairly quick play, straight onto this B-bomb site. All 5 players going to make their way in, but Fi, quick opening kill with that grenade right there, and they're happy enough to give up the bomb site. You can see just some fights being taken from a little bit further back, seeing if they can find further kills before that bomb gets planted. And that's exactly what happens. Moffer's also going to chime in with a nade. The perk of overtime, of course, having plenty of tokens to work with. The economy for the first round, at least, isn't going to be a problem. QWERTY going to be able to claim 2. And suddenly this is brought back into a 3v3. 20 seconds remaining though, and the bomb is still yet to be planted. But QWERTY continues to frag. Moffers is taken down. Elfzai gets himself 1. Just about falls back to safety alongside his teammate. But as we can see, there is one player up close. That is Toxja looking to try and find further kills. And it's the spam from Rebirth. This is a very hectic round. Leaving it all on the Supreme. 1v2, and it's not going to happen. Method. They claim the first round of the overtime.
Method, who were already looking strong coming into this kind of late on. They were a little bit slow starting over on the Axis side, but it did ultimately work out for them. And now the question is, as they've got that momentum built up already, is it going to continue forward when they swap over halves? Well, they might not even need a great momentum. Already 1 round up. A pause has come in. Of course, it is a technical. So we're having a little bit of difficulty on someone's lagging again.
Probably Moffers. Let's be real.
I think Fi was saying lag. Not Moffers. I assume Moffers would have said it if it was him, but
No, I think they've all been saying he would like lag just for him.
you know that's going to be blamed on the servers.
Well, it's only Moffers who keep spiking, so.
Yeah,
Don't
but
think that's-
apparently there are problems for individuals on some servers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Must be the routing.
I heard it's a multiplayer issue. Like it's known across CS as well. Apparently that like individual
Good
players
job
have
calling out
problems
your
with things.
sponsors.
Well, no, I mean if it's an issue, it's an issue. You're not going to say like, oh well, there's a problem in the game. I guess it's the internet's fault. Like,
But if there is issues with individual people to the servers, it's likely routing, which would actually be on the end of ISPs.
fair, could be.
Don't worry, multiplayer, I got your back, bro. I take checks, by the way.
Do you? That's a pretty dodgy way to run business. If they bounce, you're screwed.
I can trust multiplayer. As can you, as a consumer.
There you go. Set you up for that. Although I don't know if multiplayer actually sponsored this tournament.
I don't know. We're playing on the server.
I know they did previously, but
around.
I didn't notice them in the sponsor panel.
They might not actually be sponsored, but we're playing on the servers anyway, so I can mess around. It's not like whoever's running the actual servers is gonna get mad because it apparently is multiplayer. So we're fine. It is multiplayer. I just checked. It's in the tab as well.
Yeah, no, the server's definitely multiplayer. Anyways, let's talk less about the server, more about the game. So we've got nades coming in to try and deny this bomb plant. As again, Method are looking great. They've already found 2 kills. They're avoiding those nades. Damage done on the fires. He was contemplating peeking. He knows it's just going to be dangerous if he does go in for that peek. Now, as that bomb plant is going to be tapped on, they're trying to bait out the peek and indeed the nades. Sus doing well to bait that nade out. Going to survive. Low HP, going in for the peek. Fai is watching him, but doesn't manage to hit those shots. Toxic going to be approaching him with the Tommy gun in hand. Jumps out. He's expected though, as Fai finds 1. He's going to have to find a whole lot more. The ace has to be coming out from him to win the round. And indeed, with low tokens for him, he's not going to be looking to aggress all too much. He doesn't want to lose over these weapons because he won't be able to rebuy in the next round. And that is 2-0 for Method already. As it's starting to look like they're going to take this overtime. Comrade are going to have to find this next round. If they don't, that should be it, especially with the momentum we've already seen Method come up with on the defensive side so far. They certainly figured out their problems towards the end of it, and I highly doubt that just a 3-round break is going to change their defensive side all too much.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one now for CRG. They just about managed to pull it into overtime, but after the amount of momentum that we've seen Method build up during that comeback on the Axis side, it seems like it's carried in here into overtime, and two rounds now in a row, rather, on the Allied side, putting them in a really good position. Even if they lose this final one, which if they claim this side of the game is basically over with, because CRG, they didn't look great on the Allied side themselves. And that was after we gave them praise for how well they performed against LFT just yesterday on this map on the Allied side.
Well, it's a little bit awkward. There's a player gone for Method off the server. So 5v4, it's definitely a better chance for Comrade to play in this. They are going to be going ahead with the round anyways. As nades come over, Sam's able to capitalize 1 straight away. That brings us to a 5 versus 3. As they push towards that bomb site, look at the position again. Elvzoy going to be up there in the barn, able to do some damage. Hold on, though. It's baited out for Rebirth, who's able to find that kill. The bomb plant tapped there by Sus, as they were ready for it this time. And 3 versus 3. This is not looking good now. Things are starting to fall apart slowly but surely. Supreme kills Sus, but QWERTY's trading it back. Nade taken down by an MP40, the nade thrower. This fight is going to be spotted out by Rebirth momentarily. He finds the headshot. QWERTY looking to re-aggress. Fi is low HP, and he finds the shot as well. The headshot connected. Sam rotating down with 14 seconds. QWERTY was looking to go to A, but he realized he hadn't got time. Presumably everybody on the team just shouted it at him in TeamSpeak. You know those feels. With QWERTY, 1v1. Oh, swaps weapons at the wrong time, but Sam only does a tiny bit of damage and gives away his position for that. QWERTY Oh, look at this play. They've got 2 rounds. He's hoping that he's not sticking that defuse. But pros don't fake. And now Sam is going to be sticking it. The push comes in. And there it is. Great play by Qwerty. 3K on the board. What a way to finish it off. 3-0. Method.
Halftime.
They have to have it at this point, Dean.
Yeah, I feel like after how dominant they looked on that Axis side, that this is likely going to be the end of it. And then heading into the rail, they're going to be in a really good position to go ahead and try and close this one out 2-0. As we said, of course, the rail is a very solid map for Method. And I think there's people in the chat saying that it's actually their strongest map. It's the map they tend to favor towards. And understandable why they did pick it then, of course, in that case. So I think for CRG, that's going to be a real struggle. And right now, being down by 3 on the Allied side, need 3 in a row themselves to try and just send it into another overtime, let alone take the victory. That'll have to be done even further in the future. It's a very tough task right now for CRG.
And this offense has to be flawless. And the opening nades coming in, certainly looking good. Qwerty returning one of his own, but Fi's called that out, surely making its way towards that side. Qwerty does take Fi down, but it's traded as Tonks just to fall as well. 3 versus 4. The man advantage sitting with the allies as Qwerty makes his way into the top of the barn. This could be a problem. As they go for that bomb plant, he could potentially pick them off. We saw how it went, though, previously for Comrade when they were in this position. It was easily traded out, and that's the problem, like I was saying earlier. Once you're spotted out in that position, like that right there, it's very easy to take you down. As Sus is last alive, 1v3, he's just going to go for the save. There's no point committing to this with a Kar 98K and an STG. It's just too strong to save those weapons over. And indeed, like, if you're in that upper barn position and they spot you out, you're pretty much dead. 1 nade, 1 jump shot with an M1 carbine, anything, you're gone. And you've no chance to really peek up because it's such a narrow angle. So it's a risky play. If it works out, it's good. If it doesn't, you're screwed. I guess in a way, it's kind of similar to the likes of Dust 2 Tunnel outside of B. Dean, if you got aggressive there in mid early on as a CT, if it works out, it's good. But if not, you get pincered from 2 different angles and you're pretty screwed. Except you've even less chance in the upper barn there. Because you can't run around. There's no cover. You're just lying down in a hole.
Yeah, very difficult to stay alive indeed. I'd say this is the type of rounds where you do actually give that a go. It's overtime. It's not something we've seen pulled out by either team, I don't believe, yet in this game. So just taking that out now, giving it a go. They only need that 1 round to close it out. You can kind of take those gambles, I suppose. And we've seen it, of course. I think it was in the, not last week's qualifier, as I wasn't here for that, the one before that, I think. We've seen that being used very efficiently. I think I remember one player being up in that position and it wasn't cleared and he was allowed to just take 3 kills, I think, really easily. So it is a position that can definitely pay off. It became so common at one point that teams started to clear it, and now no one really uses it anymore unless it's kind of like a once a game trick, kind of just to change things up a bit.
And the thing is, it's become kind of a triple fake at this point because it's such an obvious position that everybody checks it, and because everybody checks it, you just assume no one will be there, and so you don't check it, and then then people are there. And it's just kind of like back. It's such a risky play because you just don't know how the other team are going to approach that. Because it's such a bad spot that someone probably shouldn't be there. So a lot of the times teams don't check it, and that's what we saw earlier on where it wasn't being checked. But now that it's being used, I mean, people are just going to be looking at that every single round. There's no point in even contemplating going there. Qwerty, though, started off the round towards mid and then rotated over there. It was a decent chance, at least. He made his way in there so quickly that maybe they wouldn't check it, but indeed they did. But now with the allies coming into this, it's going to be a 3v3. Sus doing well with the Kar 98K to extend the lead, or rather gain the lead in terms of manpower. And of course, just remember, Method only need 1 round out of the next 2. If they can claim this, and they're already into a 3 versus 2, that could be the end of the game, as Moffers is already on that B bomb site. We see the bomb is going to be attempted to be planted. Massive responsibility on Canala here. If he can find himself just this 1 kill on the Moffers, the round is pretty much over. The game is pretty much over. But Moffers going around there, not able to pick up the kill. Bomb is planted. Oh, Canala goes for the reload, but cancels it just in time to take Elvzoy out. And that is it. Good half and good game, as it is going to be 1-0 to Method as they take map number 1. We're going to be going on to Liberation momentarily. And what a game we just had. A great way to open up day 2 of the qualifiers for the Blitzkrieg Masters. 30 kills on Sam, 29 on Rebirth, and 28 on QWERTY. A great game all over. Toxja as well would actually be up and around that 28-29 mark. He disconnected from the server, of course, so he's down 1-0. But I think he was very high up as the rounds went on in regulation.